The Dead Sea Scrolls have a chronology in them that starts with BCE, and that's before Christ, or BC, before Christ entered. I don't know, I can't remember. I had some tabs up, I lost them. Well, according to this text that we're talking about here, the Dead Sea Scrolls, this is the chronology thereof. So, Judea becomes a province of the Seleucid Empire ruled by Assyrian successor Alexander the Great. We've all heard about him. For 12 years, Seleucus IV, beginning of the Hellenistic infiltration, resisted by the Zadokite high priest Anias III. That leads us to an 11-year period where Antiochus IV, who is Epiphanes, an epiphany of a guy, Anias deposed and replaced his Hellenophile brother Jason. Jason of the Argonauts, maybe. We lose 8 years, and then in 172, Jason expels from office in favor of Menelaus, who was Hellenizing the high priest from 172 to 162 BCE. Anias III, he gets murdered. The instigation of Menelaus is a forced Hellenization. Antiochus by Millennius profaned and plundered the Temple of Jerusalem in 169 and 168. Antiochus is thwarted by the Romans in his second campaign against Egypt. In 167, persecution of those Jews who opposed the unification of the Seleucid Empire on the basis of Greek culture and religion, official abolition of the Jewish religion, the official abolition of the Jewish religion and the practice under the threat of death. The temple transformed into a sanctuary of Olympian Zeus. I'm assuming that's Hagia Sophia. It's in 167, gets redone. The rising of the Maccabee, supported by the traditional patriots or parties, under the leadership of Judas Maccabee, interesting name. In 164, there's a truce. The cleansing of the temple, still led by Millennius, of course. In 162 to 150, seems like an interesting period there. Demetrius I, the Millennius, he's executed by the Syrians, and Alchemus is appointed the high priest by the king. Judas killed in battle in 161, and Jonathan assumes leadership of the rebels. He keeps that title for 9 years. In 160, Alchemus, the last Hellenizing high priest, dies of a stroke. Sounds like a heart attack gun. Didn't know the CIA was working then. The end of the Syrian military intervention also comes in 160. 152 to 145, a 9-year period, an 8-year period. Alexander Ballas usurped as the Seleucid throne, appointed by Jonathan high priest in 152. He gone in 153 BCE, maybe 142. Antiochus VI, son of Alexander, raised to the throne of Tryphon. His father's general, Jonathan, named governor of Syria. Simon, his brother, made military governor of the Palestine littoral. Jonathan is arrested in Tryphon in 143, and then Simon is the high priest and ethnarch from 143 to 135, maybe 134. Jonathan is executed in prison in 142. Apparently that high priest position doing well. Simon's title in 140 is confirmed as hereditary. He's the foundation of the Maccabean Hasmonean dynasty. Simon's murdered by his son-in-law in 135. Sounds like something might happen today. John Hyrcanus, probably in California. John Hyrcanus, a high priest and ethnarch, is opposed by the Pharisees. Aristobulus I, the high priest and king. That happens in 104, 103. Alexander Jannaeus is the high priest, king and conqueror. He's resisted by the Pharisees. Oh man, he's there a long time. 103 to 76. What's that give me? 27 years of him, and the Pharisees don't like him. Now they got to kill him soon. 76 to 77. The widow of Jannaeus, Alexandra, who's the queen, is a friend of the Pharisees. Hyrcanus II is the high priest. So a friend of the Pharisees, Alexandra, deposes this guy who's been there for freaking 80 years, right? No, not quite. 27 years. So Hyrcanus II, the king of high priests, is deposed by his brother, Aristobulus. Seems like home is where the hearth is and where the heart is stabbed. Aristobulus II is the king and the high priest, taken prisoner by Pompey in 63. After the fall of Jerusalem, Judea became a Roman province. Hyrcanus II is reinstated in 63. He keeps that title for 7 years. He's reinstated as the high priest without a royal title. Antigonus, son of Aristobulus II, so recall, see the brother-in-law that stabbed his dad? He occupied the throne and pontificate That means that he occupied the throne of Rome and was pontiff. With Parthian support, everyone's behind this guy. He's probably not a good guy. Hyrcanus maimed and exiled. I think that people probably did that. Herod the Great, the end of Hasmonean dynasty, Hyrcanus is executed in 30 BCE. This is one generation before Christ. A generation is 33 years. Know that number? Birth of Jesus of Nazareth, 6 BCE. Why is 6 with birth? 406 BCE, Archelaus, ethnarch of Judea and Samaria. Tiberius is emperor in 14 to 37. Pontius Pilate is the prefect of Judea for 10 years. And then we get the crucifixion of Jesus right about 30-something years old. The first Jewish war, 2 generations after Jesus, well, sort of, ending with the capture of Jerusalem and the destruction of the temple by Titus. That's going to be Hagia Sophia, probably. Masada falls, a very, very old war, about almost 185 years ago, or 1850 years ago. The second unsuccessful Jewish war against Rome was led by Simeon Bar Kokhba, and there we have our timeline of what the frick happened.